What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 5 of the Joe
Did you forget the name
Rogan.
of our podcast? Great.
It's Joe Rogan's film club experience, and I'm Cody. And Nate quit the podcast already. He couldn't hang, but we're still doing it. We brought Brad on. We have Brad on as a guest again because when he heard that we were going to talk about Waterworld, he had to come on because he's a Waterworld apologist and he needs.
Oh, hello. Is this the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay, I just made it in time. Awesome.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you made it, Nate. So what's up, guys?
Nothing much. Just trying to survive this heat. Watching some good movies this week for our film club, and
the best.
Trying to think of other movies for the following week.
Yes. Awesome. I agree. They were some good movies.
Interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's a better word.
Absolutely. Well, we're recording this a little early, so we don't. I don't know if we have anything else that's new that's happened since the last episode.
Yeah, we're going to be releasing this podcast. So if you're listening to it, it's been released on Sunday or Monday, but
yeah.
But it's Wednesday, my dudes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is Wednesday. But Brad, the people have been asking, where's the album, my dude?
Oh, it's coming.
You
just gotta be patient. By the time this podcast episode has been released, the album will have blessed the world.
Okay, so if you're listening to this now, then
go check it out.
Bradley's album is out. It's out, and
hopefully
you can listen to it for free.
For free, yeah.
Awesome. Very exciting. So you can
go to soundcloud.com/Bradley BRADLEY -Reed REED.
Sweet.
That's
and
it.
We'll put the
it's that easy.
We'll put the link in the description and stuff too for everybody.
Yeah, just in case it's a little too hard to remember.
Yeah. Cool. I'm excited to check it out. So yeah,
we're gonna have a. Hey, sorry to interrupt, but we're gonna have a special special performance at the end, right, Brad?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be patient and sit through the whole podcast.
Yeah, he's gonna do a little ditty for us at the end here.
Which, for those, maybe we've discussed it already, but maybe we haven't. But Brad is the one that made our intro and outro for our podcast. So, we've talked about before. If you enjoy the music, this album is gonna be super good. It's going to be entertaining, that's for sure. And Brad is super talented, so we appreciate for him doing that intro and outro for us and having that performance at the end for us to be able to listen to, and you listeners.
Oh, you haven't heard it yet?
Well, I know. We haven't heard it yet. We're anxious as well, Brad. We're anxious as well.
Chickens.
So, but
can't wait.
Yeah.
Well, for I don't know if I saw a couple things as far as movie news go. Just a couple things that I saw. Apparently, Paul Thomas Anderson's next movie is going to be it's a 70s high school movie about a kid who's apparently like a child star actor or something.
Sweet.
And I saw some article that he wants to get Bradley Cooper in the movie. So it looks like it's supposed to come out next year. So that sounds interesting.
How long will it be, probably?
How long will the movie be?
Yeah, how long do you think it'll be?
Like 2 hours and 4 minutes.
Let's place bets. Whoever wins gets like $10.
Oh, whoever's closest to it?
$10. All right, who wants to guess?
Who's making it?
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Oh, okay, so it's going to be like 164 minutes. That's my guess.
So Brad's 164.
What do you think? I think it's going to be 2 hours and 32 minutes.
That doesn't mean anything. You got to convert it to minutes.
Brad, do that quick conversion.
So you said 2 hours and 30 what minutes?
Yeah, that'd be like 158, right?
Well, we're gonna price this right. This I'm gonna say
I'll say one.
I'm gonna say 154.
What did you say, Brad? I mean, yeah, Brad.
164.
Okay, so I said 158,
So-
164, and
So Cody's gonna lose.
Yeah.
Price is right,
That's
man.
okay.
I don't know. I might be right on.
No, it could
We'll
be
see.
like 159, and it's
Someone write
perfect.
that down because I'm totally gonna forget.
Yeah.
Here, I can write it down somewhere. Make a little.
I'll just tattoo it on my body.
Note on my phone.
Or if we're lucky, we'll have a diehard fan who is gonna remind us for us
Yeah.
when the time comes. Be like, oh, you guys, Cody was right. So
I would hope so.
That'd be funny.
Okay, so Cody had 158. Nate had 154. And I had 160.
What if the movie never comes out?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, then Nate would win because it's 0 minutes.
Oh,
it was closest.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Well, I don't know why I just remembered too. Have you seen how everyone on the internet wants Eric Andre to be the new Ellen?
Yeah, dude, I've seen those. Like, hasn't he posted some pictures as well?
I think so.
It looks
Probably.
so funny. Like he screenshotted his like face on top of hers or something like that.
See, but would it lose its appeal that it had in the Eric Andre show? Like, would he have an actual budget and like good writing, and it would kind of lose its whole like public access vibe?
Yeah, it would definitely
know.
be different, but
I want to give him money though. Like, let's throw some money at him and see what he can
They
do.
should just do Ellen Page, so then they can keep the name.
There you go. Well, that's the best part is that everyone want to keep the name Ellen. They want to say it's the Eric Andre Ellen show.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Still, the show will be called the Ellen Show, but it will be Eric Andre.
I swear they've done something like that before.
I think it's brilliant. I think that would be the best show. I would watch it. I never watch Ellen, but I would watch the.
It's like if
Ellen
they kept
show.
the MJ morning show with that other
Oprah
dude.
took her place.
Yeah.
Just came back.
They're called Ellen.
Oprah's the new Ellen.
Or they had like who's somebody named Helen, and they just like had an H at the front, but it looks like it's like scribbled in over the official
really
title
bad,
card,
like Photoshopped or something like that.
It's like one of those
the
like
wrong font, the
Looney
wrong color.
Tunes take over Disney.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Like in crayon.
He also said that his new season of the Eric Andre show is supposed to come out, I think, later this year or next year.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer I can wait.
Yeah, I think they already shot it all. Like, and he was talking about some of the guests that he had on for this season. It sounds like it's gonna be pretty good. I'm excited.
Ooh.
And it reminds me too. He had that movie. Do you remember that movie that was supposed to come out this year with Tiffany Haddish? I can't remember what it's called.
Movie? No.
Yeah, there was an Eric Andre movie that is supposed to come out, and then
Bad Trip.
Yes, Bad Trip. And
okay.
And
I have seen that trailer.
Yeah, it was gonna come out, and then this whole pandemic thing happened, and then I think Netflix bought it, but they haven't put it out yet on Netflix.
Yeah, it was accidentally released on Amazon Prime on April.
Yeah. Yes, I know, and I remember I was listening to Sardonicast, and Adam from Your Movie Sucks, he watched it and he rated it and everything. He watched it on Amazon Prime, and he's like, "Oh, it wasn't supposed to be on there."
Yeah, but then it was like pirated, and it's like on Pirate Bay. And it said the people behind distributing the film were not bothered by the pirated leaks, and then the film was sold to Netflix.
That's fine.
They just didn't care.
Just like, whatever. Huh. But I do want to watch that one. From the people that got a chance to watch it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, comment below.
How does that happen? Especially on Amazon Prime. It seems like it wasn't even that it was on Amazon to be able to like rent or whatever. It was just it went on Amazon Prime. I have no idea.
Yeah, that does not make sense.
Is there just like one person in charge of that? Like they had the file on their computer, and they just like, oh, whoops, shoot, that was supposed to be Doctor Who. Like, I didn't know they were that, shimble shamble.
That's what's always crazy to me, like when that kind of stuff gets leaked. Like you just, like with the whole like Game of Thrones stuff that was leaked and for like that season.
Like whole albums, movies. I'm surprised my album hasn't leaked. I'm not even done yet.
Hey, I leaked it already. I didn't want
Cody
you to
has
find
this
out.
high quality recording.
Yeah, I already listened to it twice. Kanye likes it too.
You can find it on YouTube.
Find it on Tidal.
Tidal.
Yeah. And then I think there's one other thing that I saw.
Mulan.
Oh yeah.
The Hunchback remake.
Yeah. Nate, tell us about Mulan.
That Mulan.
Or what did you wait? What did you call it earlier? You said something in your message that was so funny.
It's called Wuhan.
Like,
didn't I say
Milan?
Yeah, I thought I said like Milan or something, like Mulan.
You said it.
Like
you said
Milan.
it very funny.
Mulan. Balloon. That's why I said balloon.
Balloon. You said you called it balloon.
Balloon. No, yeah, dude, it's kind of crazy because I saw Black Widow trending on Twitter, and I'm like, oh man, are they gonna release it? Like, what's happening? Are they pushing it back? And then the reason why that was trending was because people were saying that over like a conference call for like quarterly numbers, they heard that Disney's gonna be releasing Mulan on Disney Plus, but you have to buy it for $29.99.
Oh.
But they're still going to release it in theaters. But if you want to see it September 4th, then
if you just can't wait,
yeah, you can buy it. I mean, I talked to my mother-in-law, and like I have some younger, like sister-in-law and brother-in-law, and she's like, that's going to be so much cheaper than going to the theaters. So like, yeah, I'll definitely buy it. But
yeah. For people with like 8 kids,
And then when I like read more about it, like why maybe they release Mulan and stuff like Black Widow or like some of these other movies, it's just because of that target audience, which we just discussed. So it makes sense why they're releasing Balloon, Mulan on Disney Plus right now. And it's interesting because they did go on in the article talking about how like they were actually not surprised, but they were happy to see the positive feedback from how people were kind of going to be willing to pay to watch that movie. But still, I feel like it's kind of interesting that.
Well, yeah, people paid to watch Lion King.
Well, I know, but like,
and Aladdin.
It's interesting thinking about your instead of like buying some of these like video on demand movies are like $20 or something, they're raising it even higher. And so I kind of find that almost like, is this going to be like the new future where they might release their movies
I hope not.
Pre-advance for this kind of price, and then or you can see it in movie like a theater like later on.
It's going to be like worse than theaters.
Yeah.
It was already bad, and now it's like, oh.
Yeah.
You can watch it 5 minutes early for $50.
Well, I'm sure if Disney does more releases like that, they'll definitely keep it like $30 or whatever. And it makes sense for them because it's, Mulan is the kind of movie that everyone's taking their whole family to go see.
Yeah, exactly.
And so if you're going to rent it at home, like they're not going to rent it to you for like $10. So
no,
you and like your 50 family members can all watch it for like $10. So it makes sense, but yeah, it sucks for me, like I'm sure my wife would want to watch it or whatever, so it's like me and my wife will watch it and pay $30 to watch it at home on my just my TV. So
I still think like $5 is a lot for me to rent a movie.
Yeah,
I'm kind of archaic in that way, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a whole new thing to get used to. I mean, renting a movie for like $20, because it's new, it seems weird because it's just something that we've never had to do before. And it makes sense too for Disney to do it because there's going to be a lot of families and people that aren't gonna, even when movie theaters open again, there's going to be so many people that don't want to go because they're scared. And they're like, nah, I don't want to be stuck in a movie theater for 2 hours, getting sick or whatever.
Right.
So that way,
Hey, more theater for me.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe that's an upside. All the kids will be gone.
I mean, I doubt that it has to deal with anything with it. I mean, no, maybe. I mean, it probably does, but with that
I
with
just
that
don't want to spend
announcement
$40.
yesterday, from yesterday to today, Disney's stocks went up $14. So
Oh,
Oof.
that's cool.
and so, but they were
What do you know?
they were talking about like it's depending on who you ask, they'll either think that's a good idea or a bad idea. And so
Mhm.
it's just that target audience. And so people are gonna be like, oh yeah, you're gonna have families that will definitely buy because then they don't have to waste money. But then like Cody's
Yeah.
situation, you have people being like, no, I'm not paying $30 for an early access of a movie that I don't really care too much of just because it's like a live action.
I've already seen.
Yeah.
What if it was Black Widow though? What if it was Black Widow?
I still don't pay $30. I'd pay maybe like 15, maybe. Because it'd just be me and my wife,
Yeah.
you know?
I wouldn't do Black Widow. I mean, I wouldn't do Mulan or Black Widow for $30. I think it's unnecessary.
Like, I don't even think I would rush out to theaters to see it right away, honestly. I might wait until...
Yeah, I mean,
the price won't go down, but...
Mulan, I probably won't... I don't even know if I'll ever see Mulan, but I definitely wouldn't pay $30 to see. Black Widow, yeah, I probably wouldn't pay to watch it at home, but
yeah.
I do want to see it. But that's one I could wait. If I have to wait to watch it.
What's funny though is
right, I've already been waiting like 5 months.
I think I'm actually a little bit more anxious for Mulan than Black Widow just because of the direction that Mulan went. It's not really going to have that old factor into it, so I'm curious to see what they're going to do.
Donny Osmond.
Just like with because I feel like this one, I feel like they're telling the more of like the true story about Mulan, and like everything not really.
Yeah, there's no Eddie Murphy, there's no Donny Osmond.
Yeah,
it's just like a straight up like epic.
So I'm curious to see like the action scenes to see like what Disney does. Oh, I think it is the first PG-13. I think that for a live action, I think they made Mulan PG-13. So that's why I was curious to see the action.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's going from G to PG-13. So.
Wow.
Disney, what are you doing? So it goes Deadpool. It goes Deadpool and then Mulan.
They're gonna show what's his face. As a character, they're gonna show Li Shang's butt or something like that. It's PG-13.
Probably. Is that worth $30?
No.
Not for us, at least. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
In other news, have you heard about this Hunchback of Notre Dame remake with Ansel Elgort?
What?
Really? Is that real?
I don't know. I just heard about it. I'm looking it up now.
I hope that's real.
I know. I really hope that's a thing. I don't know. It's not anywhere on Wikipedia, but I heard it was in some YouTube video, so I had my hopes up. But who knows?
Wow.
Who knows at this point?
Okay, with Disney remakes, what's a remake that you wish would happen, like in your lifetime? Like
The Hunchback of Notre Dame with Ansel Elgort. That's the Hunchback.
Yeah.
Is that even how you say his name? Is that right? Ansel.
Probably. I think so. I think it is.
I have no freaking
Sounds right.
clue.
Good enough. I think Nate left.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
No, he just
he's disappeared.
No, I was just thinking of maybe Lilo and Stitch. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, no, to be 100% like honest and for real, probably Atlantis. I want a live action Atlantis.
That could be cool.
That'd be interesting.
Because you see like stuff all the time about like who they would hire and stuff, and whenever I see pictures of that, I'm like, yes, hire that person, get that actor, get that actress.
Gotta have Michael J. Fox as Milo, right?
Yes.
Is he still alive?
I think so, but I don't know. Have you guys seen The Black Cauldron?
Yeah, he's almost 60.
Disney movie?
Not for a minute. Like I was afraid of it as
Me
a kid.
too. I was so scared of it, but I loved it. I want a live action movie of that.
That would be dope.
I wish that they would
go
do
back
like,
to like the weird.
well, I feel like at some point they probably will, because they're like, okay, we ran out of Lion Kings and
We ran out of Renaissance.
yeah, we ran out of
movies.
Lion Kings and we already remade Finding Nemo 8 times.
What are we gonna do now?
So what's next?
Finding Nemo.
And then eventually they're gonna have to. It's kind of like with the Marvel movies, how they're now starting to do some more obscure things like the Immortals, and they did Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff like that. Eventually, we're gonna get the Black Cauldron and some other kind of more obscure, weird Disney movies.
Or if they remade like Touchstone Pictures ones, like some of the edgier Disney.
Yeah.
Like I don't
edgy. Yeah, well, that sounds fun.
So I did Atlantis, and Brad, you're Hunchback. What about you? What about you, Cody?
The Black Cauldron.
Oh, Black Cauldron.
Black Cauldron. That's good. I can't think of a serious answer.
I can't either, but Black Cauldron.
Because anything they would make, I think, just wouldn't be as good as the original.
Yeah. Yeah, correct. Correct.
It's like the original Hunchback. Gosh, it's just.
Well, they found that they're able to just kind of print money with these things. They're just like, okay, we already have the story. People are gonna see it no matter what, so they don't even have to try that hard. They just like have to make a live action version.
Some funny
it's
dude.
just like the different generation.
Get Will
the
Smith.
people that grew up with the VHS version, then you're gonna have the people growing up with the live action.
Yeah, it's here for a new generation. What about the other ones? They're still there.
Well, I know it's because of like naming rights and stuff like that. They want to.
Oh, Fox and the Hound.
That's Fox and the Hound live action.
Live action. Except everybody actually dies.
Well, I mean, if you saw Call of the Wild, spoilers. I mean,
it's
they do a great job with those dogs.
I haven't seen that. I did want to see that.
Me either.
It kind of looked like the Gray,
stuff.
except for Friendly.
Friendly Gray.
Friendly the Gray.
Yeah.
Well, they are doing 101 Dalmatians, and I know Emma Stone.
I already did a live one. Oh yeah, DeVille.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that.
Is she that old though? Like, I thought Cruella DeVille was supposed to be like.
Well, they're doing a different spin on it, Brad. Come on.
Is that real though? I saw that poster. I'm not sure if that's actually real.
I think I don't know if the poster's real, but they're really doing it though.
Cruella film.
So
it's an upcoming crime comedy film.
Ooh. Sounds spicy.
Directed by I don't even know who this guy is. Oh, he did Fright Night.
Perfect.
Perfect. It's gonna have Emma Stone and Emma Thompson. How are they gonna avoid confusion with that one?
You might as well get Emma Watson.
Yeah.
Let's get all of them.
Jeez.
Love it.
All right, let's talk about the movies. Let's go on.
Okay.
Let's get right into the news.
Get right into the news.
Right.
So we watched some movies this week, and we watched the Mad Max on Water, Waterworld. Bradley, you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Okay, so I saw this movie.
Brad, let's hear it.
Yeah, I saw it a lot when I was a kid because it was kind of like my dad's Star Wars. Even he would show this to me, and I always just believed it was like the best movie. You know how your parents will do that, and whenever I saw Kevin Costner in other movies, he was the Mariner. You know, that's just who he was in my mind, and the boats and everything. I just remember it being a lot more serious than it ended up being as I got older. Um, Dennis Hopper. Oh boy, he's like the perfect comedic villain. I
Yeah,
guess is what you
it
would
was
call him.
very, very, very funny.
Yeah. I don't remember if it's this movie or like Three Ninjas or Surf Ninjas or something like that, where there's a scene where one of the henchmen just like stares at the camera and goes, "Arr!" And I think that's Surf Ninjas.
I don't think I ever saw Surf Ninjas.
But that seems like something that would happen in this movie because that's the kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Crazy set pieces,
Mm.
crazy stunts. It looks like Indiana Jones stunt spectacular on
The
the
beginning
water.
part
If
where
you
you
can
have
find
the
it.
guys on the skis go off of the jump. That was like
Yeah.
with the airplane.
Yeah.
What's so funny is like I turned on this movie and my wife was like, "What is this?" And I explained to her, and she's like, "I've never heard of it." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure you haven't." And then that part happened. She's like, "Oh, that looks fun." And I'm like, that does look fun." And then by the end of
It
the
is.
movie, there's like one of the scenes towards the end where it's just getting absolutely ridiculous. And Dennis Hopper is saying I can't remember what it was that he was saying, but he just had so many. There's just like so many dumb things coming out of his mouth, and my wife was
Yeah.
just like, "What is this movie? What are you watching?"
It's a crazy world because it's like the whole dry land is super expensive and it's like a luxury and it feels like you've seen it before in other movies with other commodities, but they just do it so well in this one. And I used to really love and identify with the protagonist, and then when you get older, it's like, oh, he's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
No, that's so true.
He really doesn't care about the girl or her mom, and it's just I don't even remember what their names are. But
Yeah, I
The
don't either. It's
Mariner,
okay.
Helen.
female Anakin.
Yeah. Yeah, I do really appreciate the set pieces and all the work that went into some of these.
The crazy amounts
yeah.
of money.
Yeah. Yeah, how much
Like,
was it? It
the
was like
budget-
175 million or something like that.
I don't think that's correct. I think it went up to like
But what
300.
about inflation?
Yeah, with inflation.
The budget was
Maybe that's what the inflation.
$175 million.
I know they went way
And-
over budget.
Yeah, and at the time it was the most expensive movie ever made.
Yeah, it was like Kevin Costner's Braveheart, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a crazy. It's just crazy. It's just I love watching these movies and being like, what happened here? and were they planning on doing a sequel?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, there is a Waterworld Alive Sea War Spectacular at Universal Studios Japan. That makes sense.
Yeah. That
So
sounds
$172 million in 1995 would have been $290 million today.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's crazy.
It's like 300 million. That's like Avengers.
It's a lot. And I've always, when people have talked about this movie, everyone always talks about how it was like the biggest flop and everything. But it didn't do very well, but it made
It made its budget back.
It made like $265 million.
Yeah, it ended up, it made some money, so and
it got a golden raspberry.
I think it's just unique. I think that's why it drew a lot of people to it, but obviously it's one of those movies where afterwards people are like,
They probably hyped it up way too much in the advertising.
Yeah, they probably spent a lot on advertising, I'm sure.
What movies was Kevin Costner in like around that time, or was this like
Dance with Wolves?
Probably Robin Hood, or was that earlier?
I don't even know when. I'd have to look.
When Robin Hood was.
I'm just trying to think what other movies he would have been, and then where people.
Field of Dreams, Dances with Wolves. Robin Hood was 91.
Yeah. So.
Then he really didn't do that much. Oh, he was great in The
Bodyguard, Field of Dreams, Robin Hood,
Superman's dad.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. And he's in Hidden Figures. That was a good one. Field of Dreams is one of those that like your dad loves. Like all the Like dads will be like, "Oh, Field of Dreams, baseball."
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, and he was in 13.
13 Reasons Why.
Wait, no, 13
Season
days,
8.
13 hours. He played one of
The prequel?
Kennedy's whatever's. It's about the Cuban Missile
Kennedy's
Crisis.
boys.
Oh, okay.
I remember watching it in one of my like U.S. history class or something.
I watched Waterworld in high school. I don't know what class,
Oh, no.
but the first time I ever watched Waterworld was in school, and I've been trying all week to try to remember what class I watched it in and why we watched it.
See, you watched Waterworld in high school. I watched Dante's Peak.
Nice. I also watched.
He's a musician too.
Oh, he is?
Brad, you should
He's a country singer.
collab with him.
Wow. You should reach out.
Shoot, I'd do it.
Do
He
a
could
song.
sing on me any day.
Sing on you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. But yeah, this movie, I'm trying to think I don't even know what else to say about this movie, really. It's just, it's a really bizarre, weird movie that definitely, you could see how it literally is just like Mad Max on water. But then there's so many funny things that I totally forgot about it because I only had seen it once, and it was so long ago, and like, that part when they like check behind his ears and they're like gills.
Yeah.
Gills.
Oh, and the smokers. They're called smokers.
Smokers.
That's like the best name for an antagonist.
What do they call like the mutants, like mutos or something like that?
Something like that. I don't remember that.
I don't know, something ridiculous.
Yeah, the smokers.
Yeah, the smokers.
Yeah, and
she has a map to dry land tattooed on her back.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, and the gas balloon. I remember Gregor, the old dude. I totally forgot about that part. There's a balloon.
Yeah, when he shows up.
Yeah, there's so many like just wacky things that happen in this movie.
I do love how it takes like a really serious turn once they finally spoilers, by the way. Once they finally find dry land, and he's like, it doesn't move right, and he's like all solemn, and he just wants to get back to the sea. It's like, wow, that's pretty intense.
Yeah, watching this movie again, like right when it starts, I was like, okay, I'm actually excited to watch this because it's been so long. I don't remember anything. And it opens up with him, like he does like a flip or like somersault onto the boat, and
actually, it opens up with the kind of dated CGI of the ice caps melting.
Yes. But then I'm talking, and then he gets on the boat and he pees in his little bottle. And drinks it. That was like the first thing that happens. It's like, great. I'm here for it. But then as the movie kept going, I kind of instantly started getting bored.
Yeah.
Like right away.
I lost interest right away.
The pacing is like, really bad.
It's just, the pacing is weird, and there's so many things that happen that I do really like. There's a lot of things about the movie that I appreciate. Like there's a lot of effort that went into some things, and then like no effort that it went into a lot of other things, and it's just weird. There was parts where I'd get bored, but then I'd get pulled back in because something goofy would happen, and I'd be like, okay, cool, let me watch this, and then I just kind of, I don't know, I kept losing interest, but then coming back in, and then the end of it kind of saved it for me because the whole end was just completely ridiculous, and kind of loved that, but.
Oh, and there's a plane. Doesn't he try to crash the plane into him or something?
Well, they're like escaping, and he shoots like the gun, and it just so happens to hit like the bench, like in the balloon where the girl's sitting, and she falls like right into the water.
Oh yeah.
No.
And then he's like doing like references to like golf and stuff like that, and I'm like, this is taking place like how long like after? I'm like, how does he know about it?
Disclosure, I haven't seen this movie for at least like 3 or 4 years. if that, maybe like 5 or 7 years.
How many times have you seen it, though, Brad?
A lot. Like, I swear my dad had us watch it maybe like 5 times when I was like a child, like, grade school. And I'm sure I went back as a teenager and like in high school, and I probably seen it at least once or twice as an adult.
I just remember it being on TV, like maybe Sci-Fi Channel.
It was like Toy Story.
Oh, really?
For us. Yeah, like, how you'd go back and watch Toy Story on VHS on like a Sunday afternoon when your parents are asleep. This was our Toy Story. Funny.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's definitely a movie that wasn't a huge success like they wanted it to be, but it's become such a cult movie. There's a lot of fans out there of this movie, and it's kind of funny. There were also I was reading too that there was I think like a book that came out when the movie came out, and then they also made a video game apparently, which I don't know anything about. It was for the SNES. Wow.
What do you do?
And
pee in a bottle the whole time?
SNES, Game Boy. Yeah.
You need to pee in a bottle to regain health.
He has a novelization, goes into greater detail regarding the world. See, the world building was interesting, so I would definitely want to read that novelization.
I would actually like to see a new Waterworld movie. That's a movie that they could reboot, and I would watch.
Remake that one. Yeah. With Kevin Costner digitally.
Have him be the villain.
Yeah.
Jack Black is in it? He's the pilot.
I didn't even notice that.
I didn't even notice it at all either.
No, yeah.
Wow.
He's probably skinnier.
Who would be your ideal cast then?
Well, I would definitely I would love for George Miller to direct it. And just go full Mad Max. And just make go ahead and just make Fury Road on water, and I'd love it. And then I don't know who to cast though.
Okay, if we couldn't get Kevin Costner for whatever reason, then let's see. It'd have to be someone that's
Christian Bale?
Not used to. No, it can't be someone that's played heroes. It has to be someone who's like just kind of a regular dramatic actor. And so you're like, wait, why is he the hero? And like maybe be a little dickish, but also
Jason Bateman.
Yeah, I could see that happening. Jason Bateman.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves couldn't do it. He's too nice. They would have to change the character.
The internet's boyfriend.
No, like there's literally nothing wrong with him. He couldn't treat a little girl that harshly. Yeah. You have like Russell Crowe.
Or just
because he also did Robin Hood.
Oh,
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
Give him a real hairline like they did with the first Ghost Rider.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage. There we go. Perfect. We have our movie.
Who would play the villain though?
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe. Oh, I bet he could do that.
Oh yeah.
Not a question. Shave his head. Give him an eye patch.
But make him like an octopus man or something like that. Give him like something crazy.
Like not only has gills, but he has like flipper hands. So
yeah. I think that would be a good movie. I would pay $30 to watch it on Disney Plus.
$30,
and it has to be 3 hours. You can't cut it down. I'm pretty sure there was a director's cut that's like 3 hours of this movie.
Yeah, there's like 3 different cuts of.
I'm pretty sure that's what I watched too.
You probably did.
I mean, if I wanted to take a 3-hour nap, that's what I would put on for my kids.
It's a good one.
This is gonna be a movie that's like I'll show it to my son when he's old enough to understand movies, and tout it as like the best movie ever, and he's gonna be like, "Dad, this sucks," and
Dad,
it'll be heartbreaking.
Dad, you're wrong.
I feel like I did that to myself with me briefly watching it growing up, thinking like, oh yeah, I remember seeing clips of this movie and watching it. I don't have like the best memories. And then now I'm older, I'm like, nah, this movie is not at all what I thought it was gonna be.
It's funny how that happens sometimes with movies. You go back, you thought it was like the best movie ever when you were 10 or something, and then you watch it as an adult and you're like, oh,
like
so
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
So this was bad. But yeah, so final thoughts on the movie before we
10 out of 10.
Okay. 10 out of 10.
I gave it 3 stars, but it's like a low 3.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch it before I'm gonna give it any kind of real rating, because I just don't even know.
Yeah, rewatch it. Yeah, I would give it some. I'm not too far off. I give it 2.5 out of 5. There's things that I like about it, but I just think it's kind of
that's pretty harsh.
Middle of the road. It's watchable. Yeah, I mean, there's things that I do really like, but it just never. Watching it again, it just really never did enough for me to really like. I can't really actually recommend watching it. You know?
Yeah.
No, everybody has to watch it at least.
I don't know if they have to.
I don't know.
And get whatever you want out of it, whether it be like.
Me, and afterwards she was like, "Why did you guys pick this movie this week for your film club?" And I was like,
So that's why I didn't even have her watch. I've been trying to get her to watch it for years, but I don't think she's ever gonna watch it.
Well, that's okay. She doesn't have to.
Maybe by accident. If it's like on TV or something.
Don't even tell her the name. Just play it.
So, yeah, like, this is Mad
like
Max
a
3.
New, like apocalyptic like setting, like movie. Like it sounds really interesting.
Tell her that you got a screener for Tenet sent to you.
Yeah.
And then put that on. Be like, hey, we get to watch Tenet early. Let's go.
No, it's Mulan. It's Mulan.
She would love that. No, it's Mulan.
You got that Mulan. that pirate.
Yeah, you don't know who's in it. It might as well be Kevin Costner.
You just tell her that you had to pay $30 for this, and that you have to watch it, so it's worth it. Be like, it's not worth. Like, get our for me to watch it alone is not worth.
Gotta watch it 3 times. Yeah. Show it to your parents. Mm-hmm. Just watch it with your parents.
Yeah, great movie.
I mean, at least it's not like. It's not super offensive. Like you can't be like, oh, I was just disgusted by this movie. Yeah. It's a very inoffensive, if weird.
I completely agree. That's why I give it 2.5 out of 5. That's
why I gave it some stars.
Not, yeah. I mean, if it was really bad, I would, I'd give it, like a 1 or 2.
It's well made, at least.
Yeah. There's things to like about it. So I mean, if you're interested in something like that, if Mad Max on water with
minus the Mad Max
smokers,
minus the Mad Max, and plus a lot of cheese.
Mad Max has gills.
You might enjoy it. I mean, there's definitely a lot of people who do. There's people that love it. Like your dad, Brad. He loved it. So
he loved it
and made you watch it 50,000 times. So
something like that.
It's fun. I'm glad that it exists, because there's not really. I don't know what other really movie there is that's like it. Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like it has that appeal to it.
Mm-hmm. I think that exactly. I think that's why there's so many people that do love it, because it is so just weird and unique, and has a lot of cool set pieces and some cool action scenes and people flying around on freaking Sea-Doos or whatever, just like there's all kinds of ridiculousness.
In the year 2500, no less.
And there's so many shots of like Kevin Costner like flying or like jumping or zip lining or whatever. Like just so many funny shots of him.
He was born to be a pirate.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was probably going to be a pirate movie, and then people weren't really into that yet. Pirates of the Caribbean hadn't come out yet. They weren't ready for it.
Yep. So, well, if that's it on Waterworld, should we talk about our next film?
Yeah, Cody, let's hear the movie you picked.
All right, so my movie this week was Popeye, the 1980 Popeye movie.
Oh, so you chose
Yes,
it?
I did. Starring Robin Williams and
R.I.P.
Shelley Duvall.
R.I.P. Robin Williams.
It was directed by Robert Altman. It is a live action musical weird
musical.
It's another weird movie. So what did you guys think of this? I'm excited to hear your thoughts.
I definitely had subtitles on. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did too. I mean, I always have subtitles on.
I couldn't.
Couldn't what?
Because I had to find it just like online.
Oh,
so
no
I couldn't
subtitles.
just turn the subtitles on. Just hit play and that's it.
Oh
Hope
man,
it was the
that's
right
rough.
one. It opens up
Yeah.
out on the ocean. I'm like, shoot, I hope this is it.
So did you understand anything, Brad?
Kind of. I mean, Shelley Duvall is the only person you can actually understand.
Yeah.
She did do a good job with her role.
She did great. I'll give her that. I still saw Miss Torrance every single time.
And Robin Williams did do a good job with the character, but they definitely really played into this whole like comic strip like situation, like the cartoon Phil. And so his mannerisms and how he spoke and how he acted, like even that they enlarged his arms, like it's so funny to think. But I think about the movie, my favorite part was when he's laying in bed and he's looking at a picture.
Yes,
and you're like,
the best part of the movie.
You're like, okay, he's looking at a picture and he's mumbling underneath his mouth.
He's talking about his dad, and he's like talking to his dad.
The picture frame, he turns it over and puts it on the nightstand, and it's just writing, and it says "Me Poppy" or whatever.
Me Papa. That part made me laugh so hard. That was my favorite. And then I also loved at the end of the movie when he finds his dad.
Yeah.
And he had one too that said, "Me son."
And it's just nobody. It's just writing.
It's just writing on a... I thought that was pretty brilliant. That was 10 out of 10 for me.
And I think the whole betting scene too with the horses was funny too. Just
yeah. I love the hamburger guy.
Oh yeah,
whatever his name is. And remember when he had remember when he made a soup burger?
Oh yeah, he did.
They made a whole song out of one joke from one panel in one comic strip. Just a throwaway line, and then make a whole song about it. Oh goodness.
Yes, they did. It's such a...
Burgers can't be choosers.
Yeah. It's such a weird movie. I think for me, Shelley Duvall was definitely a highlight of it for me. I thought she was pretty great and perfect as Olive Oyl. Robin Williams is good. It's just a weird. I feel like it's just a hard character to adapt to a live
nobody
action.
could have done it right.
Yeah, I don't think anyone could have done a better job than Robin Williams. I think that he was for sure the perfect person to play Popeye.
He just went all in, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he did do a really good job with his performance. I was really impressed. And just I liked the scenery. I liked how they did all the buildings they made and everything.
Yeah. That was another one of my favorite parts too.
Okay, yes. The fact they built a whole village in Malta just to film the movie in.
And you can go visit
it
today.
Is pretty impressive.
It's a tourist spot
attraction.
now. You can go see it. Now I want to go. Now, like when I think of like locations for like films that I would like to visit, there's only a couple, and it's like the Shire for Lord of the Rings. those houses and everything, you know. And then this movie, I want to go visit this freaking town because it's so cool. There's a lot of detail that went
Yeah.
into it, and it's this whole town, and so I really like that too. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that there's an actual
Yeah.
town. See, I knew about that because it was in some YouTube
Oh,
video I
really?
watched. So seeing it, I was like, oh, it was interesting. But geez,
Oh, you're
like
cutting out.
all the long shots, and it's like they really just wanted to get their use out of the town. Whereas the
Mhm.
camera's just like 2 miles away, and you can barely hear anything, and there's little to no ADR if it's even any good, and oh,
It's a long shot. A long
it
shot
is hard to
tax.
watch.
Everything's a tax.
Yeah,
No, but it definitely
this
was good. So, what I mean.
Yeah. Did you guys? What did you think of the end fight with the octopus
When
and
he's just
everything?
punching it and like it, yeah.
only Popeye can do
Uh,
it.
I yeah, it looks so funny.
But I mean,
He's
it
like
was
punching it in the
1980.
head. Yeah, yeah, it's forgivable. It's a
Okay, but they
19.
did Star Wars in '77. I
Yeah.
I feel like if this movie was made 40 years earlier, it would have been like a pretty good movie.
Well, the thing that's so weird about this movie too is the studio, they were really expecting this movie to be like a huge hit. Like they were like, yeah, Popeye's gonna be
Yeah,
this is
And they got
this is the
Robin
new
Williams,
thing.
Shelley
Like
Duvall.
the Robin Williams
they
vehicle.
they
Yeah.
thought that they were about to have like this was gonna be like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy. It was gonna be the Sam Raimi Popeye trilogy. Imagine if we got like a Popeye trilogy.
Oh, good grief!
um, and
Come
what if
on.
Sam Raimi directed it? Maybe if Sam Raimi directed it, we could have gotten a trilogy. Sam Raimi Popeye trilogy. Um, but yeah, they really had high hopes for the movie, and this is similar to Waterworld, where it's another movie that's considered to be, a bomb and everything, but it made its money back,
It
and
made
then
its
and
money
then
back.
and then some. So it made some money, but they just not nearly as much as they had hoped for.
It's definitely one of those movies that people probably like see, like when they're looking at films that Robin Williams was in or Shelley Duvall, and they see that, oh, they were in Popeye, and then they watch it and they're gonna be like, well, how and why
Like,
did I?
what the heck is
Yeah, did
this
I never
movie?
hear about this? And then
Mm-hmm.
so I can totally see that, just like people being like so confused because I remember hearing
I hadn't
about
heard
this
of it.
movie, but I like it. Just it's one of those things where you hear about it, but it just goes right over your head. So.
Yeah, it's just the whole thing is just it's weird. It's a weird thing, and it's weird that the studio they're like, okay, we have this Popeye movie. They're like, let's give it to freaking Robert Altman to direct, which is so like I don't. It's so just weird that decision. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I love Robert Altman, and this movie is very much a Robert Altman movie, just with
Yeah,
Popeye in it, and
interesting
the
choice.
town reminded me so much of the town in McCabe and Mrs. Miller, which is a much better movie, but it has a lot of uh, like it has a really cool like unique town, and something about that movie that was cool is while they were filming the movie, like they were building in the background, they were like building these buildings like as they were filming, and they just had like the construction workers like put on costumes and so they're like building it as they shot the film. um and yeah, it was just a weird choice, a weird movie to make. I can't imagine. I was when I was looking up Papa, I saw there was a canned like animated Popeye movie that was apparently being worked on um in 2017, I think.
Oh,
Um
I think I
I,
remember that.
I'm gonna send you this to look at it later, but it looks interesting. But yeah, I just can't imagine, especially today. I feel like there's no way to make a Popeye movie work
I don't even know who would
if it didn't do
be
that
the
well
actor.
in 1980. I don't know. I maybe, yeah, no, I don't know.
Patrick Stewart.
It's weird. All right, so we just had a little minor hiccup there, but we're back. Okay, something happened with Anchor. So yeah. Anyway, well, Popeye. We'll just give our final thoughts, and Brad's gonna play us his little ditty. But
Yeah.
I actually liked this movie. It's not a great movie. It's a lot like Waterworld, where there's a lot of things that I appreciate about it and things that I did like, but overall it's just kind of, yeah, it's okay. What It's just an interesting product, and I'd give this one 3 out of 5 stars.
I gave it 3 out of 5 stars as well, just because it's different, and I really did, just for the time, time that they did it. I really enjoyed how Robin Williams really did sell the character really well, and so did Shelley Duvall. Just how they made his arms like big, so he looked like Popeye and everything like that. So I appreciated it. I mean, I did lose interest at some areas, but it was a good movie.
What about you, Brad?
I hated it. I couldn't stand it. I don't know. Yeah, it lost me.
So it's
really
not
hard.
one of those watch over and over again and have your children watch it.
No, I mean, I guess I'm glad I got it over with and I don't have to watch it again.
Make your kids watch it.
Yeah, maybe by then
I'll
have the strength to watch it again. Every Sunday.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us and talking about Popeye and Waterworld. Do you want to do your play your song for us?
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah. Let me grab my guitar really quick. So this is a little acoustic rendition of one of the singles from my upcoming album. This one's called Speak, and I'm just going to do a little quick snippet of it.
Hey, Nate, edit this part out. Just kidding.
Speak to himself, won't hurt no one else, loves who he has, chases simple things. So let him speak and say what he needs. We don't have to wait around for one of us to bleed. So let him sing until his heart weeps. Break down the barriers that you so proudly keep. Let him speak. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Brad.
We appreciate that.
That's gonna be for the Patreon listeners only.
Yeah.
Only fans.
Sample. Only fans.
Yeah, Nate, make sure you edit that part out. We don't need that.
Save it
I'm
for the
just kidding.
paying listeners,
I'm
please.
just kidding. We appreciate it. That was great. Can't wait to listen to the full album and hear
And we'll
it.
put that link in our.
Thanks. Yeah,
We'll
it'll
put that link so you guys can listen.
it'll
to
be
it.
way different than that. Let me tell you.
Yeah, no, that sounded good though. It's just like it sounded great. It sounded
Just
great.
make sure you invite us to the audience when you go on Jimmy Fallon.
Was it as good as Waterworld though? That's what I want to know.
I could see it being in the background of Waterworld when he's
Good. That's
drifting
exactly
away,
what I
when
was
he's
saying.
looking at the land and he's looking at the ocean. He chooses to go in the ocean,
Yeah.
Dang.
and you just hear in the
Touching
background,
moment.
"Let him speak." And
Maybe if it had that, it would have been a 5-star movie for me.
yeah,
Maybe. I think that's what I was missing.
Mhm. Yeah, good stuff though, man. We love it.
Thanks.
oh, we gotta tell our movies for next week.
Yes, we do.
Oh yeah. I'm excited.
So next week we're planning to have a guest, right? Is that next
Yes,
week?
we are.
Yep. So we're gonna have a guest next week.
Wait, I think so. Yes.
Or
It
is
won't
it
be
next?
me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
next
it is.
week.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, next week. It won't be Brad. And the movies that we'll be watching are Train to Busan and The Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Ooh.
Which, if you want to watch them, Killing of a Sacred Deer is on Netflix, and I'm
They're
pretty
both
sure
on Netflix,
Busan.
I think.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah,
it's on-
Busan's in my watch list, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think it's on. Yep, it's on Netflix too. Perfect, and it's on Prime. So if you have Amazon Prime or Netflix, you can watch it. So yeah, anything else?
Nope. Thanks
Before
again,
we-
Brad, for
Nope.
coming on.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
thanks, Brad.
Don't mention it.
Come back
I'll be
anytime.
here anytime.
Mr. Celebrity.
All right. Well, until next time. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Catch you later.
Bye.